Daniel Love was born in Papua New Guinea, but his father was Aboriginal. He was therefore both an Australian Aborigine and a Papua New Guinea citizen. Brendan Toms was a New Zealand citizen with an Aboriginal mother. They were both nasty pieces of work. Love was sentenced to 12 months in prison for assault occasioning bodily harm, and Toms was sentenced to 18 months for a domestic violence assault. Ordinarily, non-citizens in Australia sentenced to imprisonment are deported immediately after their release, and good riddance. Love and Toms appealed and raised a fundamental question. Was it possible to be at once an Aboriginal person and an alien, which is the word the Constitution uses to describe non-citizens? The High Court split on this question 4 votes to 3. The majority found that it is simply not possible for an Aboriginal person to be an alien under Australian law. Justice Gordon said the constitutional term aliens conveys otherness, being an outsider, foreignness. The constitutional term aliens does not apply to Aboriginal Australians, the original inhabitants of the country. An Aboriginal Australian is not an outsider to Australia. European settlement did not abolish traditional laws and customs which establish and regulate the connection between Indigenous peoples and land and waters. Assertion of sovereignty did not sever that connection, nor did Federation or any event after Federation render Aboriginal Australians aliens. As later events confirmed, at Federation many Indigenous peoples retained their connection with land and waters. They retained rights in respect of the land and waters, and they remained subject to obligations under traditional laws and customs with respect to the land and waters. Failure to recognise that Aboriginal Australians retain their connection with land and waters would distort the concept of alienage by ignoring the content, nature and depth of that connection. It would fail to recognise the first peoples of this country. It would fly in the face of decisions of this court that recognise that connection and give it legal consequences befitting its significance. Consequently, the current law is that an Aboriginal person cannot be an alien in Australia and cannot be deported, regardless of their citizenship status. However, the court was divided, perhaps because 2 violent criminals were hardly glowing champions for this cause. It is likely that some future case will either set this decision aside or confirm it by a more substantial majority.